Alright, so Andrew and I did the chapter 14 of the book, which is resource issues. The key first issue is why are resources being depleted, which there are two main types, energy and mineral resources. So energy resources are the ones that are being depleted faster. They're used like biomass, trees, organic materials are being burned for energy. Fossil fuels like petroleum, oil, natural gas, coal are all used, but these are fossil fuels and they're not infinite, which means we'll run out of them eventually. And they also impact the environment. OPEC is the main controller of fossil fuels, largely oil, and they basically have a monopoly on it. They're located in the Middle East, and they use this power to like boycott and cause trouble for the U.S. if they disagree with some of their protocols. Nuclear energy is another big energy output. A small amount of material goes in for a large output. Some hazards of this are radioactive waste, bombs could be made out of it, and pollution of the environment. Also, it's expensive. One plant costs billions of dollars. And then mineral resources, so there's two main types, non-metallic minerals and metallic minerals. So non-metallic minerals are used for like building stones and fertilizers, and then metallic, which are classified into ferrous and non-ferrous. So ferrous is like iron and other things with iron in them, and that's used for a variety of things. And then non-ferrous is like aluminum, which is becoming more and more popular.
Alright, so our second key issue was why resources are being polluted. And we got three types of pollution. That's air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. So the first one, air pollution, is caused because humans burn fossil fuels. That's like the main reason. So that's like industries, big plants burning, and then we have cars, releasing gas fumes, and this can cause stuff like photochemical smog, which is a type of smog that can cause respiratory and heart problems, and then as well as just like basic health issues, just all around kind of stuff. Then we have water pollution, which is caused by wastewater. It's when industries wash away their pesticides and chemicals into like main water streams and rivers, stuff like that. Then we also have sewage water, which is when you flush your toilet or pour something down your sink, it goes into the sewage. And then we have cleaning plants that clean it, but they can't get everything out, and then those are dumped in local rivers and stuff like that. Then finally we have land pollution, which comes from solid waste of byproducts. So when you go to the store and you buy a food and it comes in a plastic wrapper, that wrapper is sent to a landfill. And the difference between a landfill is that and pollution of water and air is that it's condensed rather than dispersed. And so that isn't as much of a problem now because it doesn't affect people living, but when there's so much of it that it's covering the earth, it can become a much bigger problem.
So the third key issue is why are resources renewable or reusable? So there are two main ways of reusing resources. One is recycling and the other is renewing. So things like biomass, the organic material, hydroelectric power, wind power, geothermal energy, and nuclear fusion all create or can just be renewed. They don't really use anything. Another big one is solar, which there's passive and active. Passive is basically like a dark surface being heated to keep warm, or thick walls being used to keep the sun out. And active solar energy is when you use something called photovoltaic cells, which basically they convert light into energy. Again, the other big one is recycling, which is the separation, collection, processing, marketing, and reuse of unwanted material. So the first step of this is pickup and processing, and then the second is manufacturing, which another alternative methods of recycling is reducing discharges, which is basically decreasing the base amount of pollution, and increasing the environmental capacity, which is making the environment able to absorb more.
Alright, so the last key issue is why resources are being conserved. The main reason is for sustainable development, which is meeting our needs now, but not compromising the needs of future generations in terms of resources and what they have available to them. And so 2 ways we can do this are conservation and preservation. Conservation is the use of only what we need and not excessive use. And then preservation is trying to sustain what is available to the earth by not using it at all and just having little human interaction with things that are going to be needed later. And basically through those 2 things we can make sure that we survive and people in the future can survive, live good, happy, clean lives.